This is a special edition of Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
Well, I'm not Sam Shad. He actually has the day off. We do have a special edition, though. Today I'm joined by Scott Craigie and the governor of the great state of Nevada, Governor Guinn. Thank you for coming on today.
Thanks, Randi.
Obviously,
Scott.
First question is, what's the status of evacuees coming from the Gulf Coast to Nevada?
Well, throughout the news media this morning early, it was that we had been put on hold. But on the way over here, in fact, you're the first to hear this officially, that FEMA called our Chief of Staff, Mike Hillerby, and we're to expect about 500 people on Monday. And hopefully we'll be able to split that between north and south, and probably maybe 300 here and 200 in the south, depending on how they put them on the plane, because Las Vegas has already gotten about 200 or so, and from walk-ins and people saying it's a job market, and we're going there and they're more familiar with it. So we're ready, we're prepared, and our people will re-gear up for Monday morning.
Real quickly, are you setting up job-finding services, plugging them into schools? Have you got the next step somewhat planned in the state?
Absolutely, Scott. Our people have done a great job over the 3-day holiday. They worked, involved all of the community organizations such as Salvation Army, Red Cross, and medical services, the school districts, the university. Everybody's ready to go, and we'll bring them into a triage setting immediately and make them feel welcome, and then really get them off into individual groups rather than announcing everything in large groups, making them feel very welcome to a great city like Reno. And the people of Reno and all of the elected officials and the workers and all the various organizations have been absolutely fantastic, both north and south. So we're very well coordinated, and we're going to be able to really give them advice. We have, for those who are in extreme stress or medical services, we're able to help them. We have psychologists and others who are ready to sit and talk to them because they've been through a terrible mental stress. And so we're very well prepared.
Well, it's nice to see that we're prepared, isn't it?
It is. It's great. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more of Governor Guinn.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Corporations moving to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center require reliable power, fiber optic communication, and clean water sources. And yet, there's another amenity we're very proud of here at TRI, rail service. So far, we've built over 2 miles of railroad track, and another 3.6 is under construction. When companies need to transport freight, we're going to help them move it quickly and efficiently. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
Something spectacular has taken wing not far from Reno or Lake Tahoe, and never far from your mind. An escape of fine dining and legendary golf. Introducing the resort at Red Hawk. And at the center of it all, we've feathered our nest with new villas that have elevated Red Hawk to the status of a premier resort. The resort at Red Hawk, a beautiful new arrival in northern Nevada.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and social security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seemed to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
You are watching Nevada Newsmakers.
I was going to come in.
Welcome back to Nevada Newsmakers with our Governor, Kenny Guinn.
Governor, real quickly, costs. Obviously, this is probably going to be the first group of people that come here to Nevada from the storm down in New Orleans. What are the costs for health care, or what are the costs for education. Generally, what's the impact on the state government, local government, school districts?
There'll be very little. FEMA has agreed, and we already have signed documents certainly indicating that they're going to reimburse us. There will be a little bit of a time lag. But everything is fairly well taken care of in terms of whether it be tuition, whether it be for school cost or Medicaid, medical services, etc. So it's really fairly well organized with us.
Are more coming?
We don't really know that yet. We had a telephonic conference yesterday with FEMA, the top two people in FEMA, the governors did, and they advised us that they're doing much better with the people in Houston, and some of them are more likely to say we want to stay closer, but there's still a number of them that are interested in getting to complete relocation because they've lost everything. And they said, really, maybe this is a good time for me to start all over. And so I think that's why we're getting more, but I don't think it will be what we totally expected in the very beginning.
In the sense of numbers?
In the sense of numbers, yeah, all over the country. But every state that hadn't been approved previously, they could only approve so many at a time. We came in a second wave to be approved, and there was 7 or 8 states in front of Nevada. And so I don't know that they'll have enough to go all over the state, but we're ready and prepared, and that's what America should be. It should be prepared quickly. Right. Yeah. And I think every state has responded quite well to react to servicing the people of the Gulf states.
Well, one of the questions I get very frequently is, why are they coming so far as to Nevada? So how did that play out? Did you make an offer? Did they come to you? How does that how are the details involved there?
Well, no, really, they've called. They usually ask us to wait until we're invited, and then we express, listen, we can take this many. And I think distance has got very little to do with it, because once you lose everything, and if your families are split, your overall relatives, you can't always get everybody on the same plane. But the distance is not an issue right now, because they're being flown by commercial airline, by a lot of dedicated airline people and others. And they're really saying, we're going to drop you at this place. It can either be temporary or permanent. But we're set up, to answer your question a moment ago, Scott, we're set up also for Job Connect. We've already had a number of businesses right here in Reno call and say, listen, we'll be more than happy to work with you in training. And so they'll be working with our own state employment and also the Job Connect right here in Reno as an example. It's a great program, and they'll move right in and interview these people and then tag them up to the people that we have who are willing to take them on as employees.
Now, I know in Washoe County, it's the Citizens Emergency Response Team that's actually fielding the calls, which is 337-5800 for those that are interested if you have jobs or homes. But in Vegas, is it Clark County that's coordinating it, or is it more of a state operation?
Well, we've worked with them, but it's really Clark County that's handling it, and we've been working with them to make sure that we're all in concert from north to south. And we're really working through the county executive's office there, and they've been very good. They're well organized also, and I think what we're trying to do is not put them all in a barracks or a large group area. We're trying to get them in a room type setting for families, so that they can have a bathroom facility, some privacy, and then try to take the singles and put them more in a little barrack area, but make them small like out at Stead. That's what we're attempting to do. So we've got both here in the north, and certainly one of the hotels here has donated 150 rooms in one location. So that kind of a program is really working well both for the north and the south. And I just think we're really ready, and I can't say enough about the people. Now, when you say about the cost, the cost of us taking our efforts and our volunteers of cleaning up these places, getting it organized, getting it set up, and the Red Cross has been absolutely fantastic. They've agreed to really be the go-between and really operate them, and that's who it should be, because they're very good at it. So I say to people, when you're not sure where you should be donating money, I'm donating my money to the Red Cross because I see what they're doing, and the Salvation Army.
Just listening to you talk, I can tell that there has been more than just the governor's office and maybe some departments. Obviously, there has been a whole community of help agencies that have worked together. There's been a lot of criticism on the federal level that didn't happen soon enough or quickly enough. You're a chief executive. You're also head of the Republican Governors Association, so I want to ask you probably more a political question than a help-oriented question. Do you support these calls for an independent panel to be appointed at the federal level to look into the government's reactions in all the agencies, not necessarily focused just on the president or other individuals, but to see what we did wrong, to learn what we did wrong?
Absolutely. I don't know that if it's, I would call it a independent investigation. I don't like that word. I would like an independent assessment. We all should do independent assessments after we have a catastrophic situation, where there be one like this, which is probably, will go down in history as one of the, certainly the largest in America. Yeah. But as the world goes, we better prepare ourselves, because it could be another methodology as opposed to just an act of nature through the good Lord. So we better really be prepared, and I think we all need assessments after these kinds of programs. Military always do that. No matter what they do, they reassess what they've done and to make the changes. And we know that a lot of the red tape that we're talking about is a big part of the problem. Just who has the responsibility? I know in this state, if we have a catastrophe, it probably wouldn't be something of this nature, but if it were an earthquake, which we have the potential of doing here. We're Nevada, people don't know about it, but we have a very large earthquake fault that runs right down through Nevada and right down through Las Vegas. Yep. I'll tell you, we are prepared with our plans. If you go and look at a plan that we have in Nevada here from the flood that was reassessed, the only thing that our people in emergency planning had to change from the 1997 flood and the earlier floods was they found out, and we see that this is happening now, and it's a national issue in New Orleans. What about the pets? Yes. People will not leave their pets, and I understand that. Yep.
That'd be us.
That would be many families. It would be my wife. She would not leave without her little dog. She would stay right there. So I think it's important for all of us to understand that you go back and reassess. Out of that flood, what Frank Syracuse and our people did, they added a complete addendum to our plan that says how do you handle and how do you rescue and take care of the animals and the wildlife and your own personal pets. A whole section in that plan.
Well, the Humane Society will be happy with that one, I know. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more of Governor Guinn.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
For more than a decade, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has been helping the community embrace conservation as a way of life. That includes replacing more than 50 million square feet of grass with water-smart landscaping. During the worst drought on record, watering restrictions and tough landscaping codes have reduced the community's water use by billions of gallons, even as thousands of new residents were moving into Nevada. That's smart water management, and that's our promise to Nevada.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
Many of the materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
I keep getting called Sam Shad. It's getting a complex
well, you're
now.
Not.
I'm not. But we do have Scott Craigie and the great governor of the state of Nevada is here. So I know in Reno, folks have been already coming here from the Gulf Coast to relocate. But what about Las Vegas?
Well, actually, there's about 400 already there now from the latest information we have, 200 yesterday and one
And they came on their own?
They came on their own and through relatives and through, I think, the national identification of the state of Nevada being the #1 job market in America and the lowest, one of the lowest, certainly, unemployment. So they look at that and say, I have a chance to go and get a job. And New Orleans people are looking at it and say, oh, wait, they have entertainment there, they have a lot of taxi cabs there, they have a lot of service industry there. I can be a part of that because that's what I've done for all these years in New Orleans. So it's really, I think, a compliment to the national media that's given us credit for what we've been able to do here in Nevada on a national level.
Well, it's compliments to our leadership, too, of keeping Nevada on a good track.
Well, we're on a good track. We're on a great track. I'm very, very pleased. Couldn't be more pleased.
Well, now, I was a little surprised yesterday when I saw the mayor of New Orleans talking about how he wants to, almost implement martial law, and then the governor comes on and says he doesn't have that ability now. You're seeing this fight between the mayor and the governor. Are you surprised that that's happening? And
yeah,
we're all saddened by it. But
we're saddened by it, but I think that those people should be able to sit down under these days that they've had and decide how they're going to handle this and who's going to be in charge. But I think probably now, just looking at everything, that certainly the military is in charge at this particular point with some involvement of the mayor. But I just don't see that happening in most of the states. But we are concerned about, Scott, your question earlier about all governors and the National Governors Association with Mike Huckabee, who is the chairman this year. We're going to have a special forum after things settle down to make sure that we're all discussing and bring FEMA in, and let's talk about what changes we need to make so that there is no areas of conflict and who's responsible under these circumstances. And if it takes changing the rules, we better change them, because I don't think this is going to be the last issue we face in America.
I believe that one of the reasons HHS at the federal level moved so quickly was that Governor Leavitt, former Governor Leavitt, is the head, he's the Secretary of Health and Human Services at the federal level, and the governor has, I think, a much different relationship and a much different understanding of what it takes to penetrate a place when it's in trouble.
Absolutely. The Secretary Leavitt was certainly my mentor, assigned to me as a governor when I first got elected. He's very sharp and he understands how you have to move, and that's an advantage to us in our states when we have people who have been governors in the states and ended up in those positions, and they reacted very, very quickly.
We have some other questions. One was a viewer. Yesterday we plugged this show and that you were going to be on. Phones rang and we got some questions, and one of them was from one of the viewers asked, when are we going to get the rebate checks? We want to know when they're going to show up in the mail.
So back to Nevada issues now.
It's got to be somewhere towards the end of September, the very first week of October, and the reason we don't really come out with a specific date, as you know, when you send 2 million checks, you want to be sure that you are safe in the procedure that you use, because fraud, theft becomes a big issue, and we want to be sure that we can do this all at one time, drop them so that we have the least amount of theft and fraud involved in this program. But we know it happens in other places, and that's a part of our program. But actually, for everybody, everything for the state that what we're doing has already been turned over to the bank and the processing, and everything is in processing, and actually we're a little ahead of schedule. So the checks they're imminent. I don't want to say they're in the mail because they're not at this point, but they will be here in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Well, a little bit about the money issue is obviously, as you said earlier, the roles that Nevadans can play in this tragedy, and there is a role donating to the Red Cross, providing auctions. So when you get those checks, think about those people. But we also have some information. We've got the websites for both the Reno and the Las Vegas Red Cross that we like to put up for people, as well as the phone numbers, so they know how they can actually use some of their rebate check to help the folks from the Gulf. It's a nice way to spend your money, make you feel good about it.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's really important for the local communities, I had a number of people call me before, and even myself, in terms of the radio stations, were calling people, and we made our donations, and we were certainly figuring at that point it was going to the Gulf states. But in fact, now that we're receiving, I'm really saying to people, take a really second look at Salvation Army and the Red Cross in your own community, because now we're going to have these individuals here, and we can focus on that, and really we know exactly where the money's going, what it's going to do. And for those of you who are really starting to collect the additional items such as toothpaste, toothbrushes, clothing, the basic things that you need. Just get them stored and hang on to them, and then we can filter them out through the Red Cross, who will be really handling this program. It will be done very efficiently because I found them to be very organized and very hard workers.
Well, we keep saying give them about 2 days after they're here, and we can kind of figure out what the needs are, who's coming, because we don't even know if it's adults or kids or anything like that. So we'll take another quick break, and we'll be right back with more of Governor Guinn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
How long does it take to get to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park? Well, it's just 10 minutes east of Reno Sparks on Highway 80, just minutes from the airport. And under construction is an interchange linking I-80 to TRI's 4-lane USA Parkway. And soon, this parkway will connect Interstate 80 to Highway 50. How far is the world's largest industrial center from your home? It's a lot closer than you think. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The Nevada Beer Wholesalers encourages the responsible consumption of beer. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association are sponsors and participants in many community-based efforts such as school education programs, safe ride home, recycling programs, alcohol-free after-prom and graduation parties, safe boating campaigns, and designated driver programs. They are family-owned businesses employing 2,000 Nevadans. They also collect and pay the state excise tax. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association, delivering more than just beer.
Dave, I'm telling you, it's all in the follow-through.
Actually, Dave, it's all in the putting.
No matter how you swing, it's a classic opportunity to play for local organizations.
That's why we're teeing off in the Kess Classic at Wolf Run on September 15th. Arts Tournament will benefit Care Chest of Sierra Nevada, providing free medical supplies to those in need, and help our local Seroptimists support the community.
Hey, Dave, you've got the perfect score.
Something spectacular has taken wing not far from Reno or Lake Tahoe, and never far from your mind. An escape of fine dining and legendary golf. Introducing the resort at Red Hawk. And at the center of it all, we've feathered our nest with new villas that have elevated Red Hawk to the status of a premier resort. The Resort at Red Hawk, a beautiful new arrival in northern Nevada.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers.
Well, this is the part of the program that's generally reserved for our pundit panel, and we don't have a pundit panel. We're going to let the governor be our pundit, though, today. Obviously, politics is getting into this. Bob Beers came out with his get rid of the gas tax. Don Gibbons says, I'm going to the Gulf to help. Doesn't that kind of upset you when you see that people are saying, oh, it's not for political gain, that they're doing politics? I mean...
Well, everybody's got their own style, and I've just never been one to really look and decide what I was going to do on polls or the issue of the day. I think if you're really getting into politics to help people, then you have to program yourself so that you're going to be working day in and day out, whether the newspaper is covering you or television is covering you or not, all those kinds of issues. Now, if it's truly what you want to do, and I give people credit, if that's what they want to do, they should go and do that. But they should, I think, sometimes do it in the silence of just saying, I'm going to do it. And I know, and you know, many people in this state who give so much of their time and effort every day, and not a one of us, even though we know them, know about it. And so everybody's got a little different methodology of how they approach. I don't personally like the populist attitude, because then you're just looking to be popular. But if you live by the populist attitude, you'll die by the populist attitude. And I don't believe in that. I'd rather be out doing things the way I do them. And sometimes I can do that and do it much better than the other way.
And you were a CEO coming into the governor's office, and you've treated it like a CEO's job all along. Right. I got to ask, is there any possibility you could be persuaded to bleed down the rainy day fund 9 weeks into the 2-year biennium and get rid of this gas tax piece that the state collects?
No, I don't think so. I think we're in great shape as a state, and when I compare it with all the other states, look at all of our neighbors, we're in great shape. And the program that we've initiated is not just for the time that I'm here. I've got another year and 4 months or so, but we tried to leave it much better than we found it for the next person and the next person. And I'm not saying the previous governors didn't work hard, but we made some major restructurings, and I can guarantee you whoever becomes governor in this state will have a much better time the first 4 years years than we had. And, you know, that's the way it should be. And I would hope the new governor would leave it much better for the next governor, because when governors have a good time, that means you're taking care of your business people, creating jobs like we've done, keeping unemployment down, and having education opportunities improved. And look what we've done for health education. How could we be proud of a state like Nevada and not have a mental health facility in a state with a population like we have now growing, and especially in the city of Las Vegas? Those things have all been accomplished, and we've done so many things in health care, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm so happy when I leave. I'm certainly not going to criticize myself. If you want to, that's fine with me, but I'm not going to criticize myself.
Probably a good idea.
We're very pleased. But more important than that, I think we took some giant steps to help the future of Nevada. And such as, well, just real quick, you can look at the Senior RX program. We've led the nation in that program. And even now, we talked about Mike Levitt, the Secretary of Health. He's looking at a way that they can combine their Medicare prescription drug program with the Senior RX program of Nevada, not any other state in America. He's looking at that. Look at our Millennium Scholarship. Look at what we've done for mental health. Mental health is back on our radar screen, and it's really important. It's not homeless. People say, oh, well, all those people with mental health problems, you know, they're homeless or this and that. They're not homeless. Less than 18% are homeless. The rest of them are our aunts, uncles, our brothers, our sisters, our next-door neighbors, and we have an obligation to keep them on their medication because they can become productive citizens. And I think that's the kind of quality we want in Nevada. And I can assure you this, our business people are doing better this year and the last year, so we haven't done anything to hurt them. We've done everything to promote them, and they're getting help. I want to close by just quickly saying that a part of our restructuring, we were receiving money from 196,000 companies in this state. It's difficult to find everybody because we have no state income tax, we have no personal income tax, and so we don't know who's working in all these places as companies. Once we made these changes and recharged our technology and data processing, which you know is expensive and difficult, we jumped immediately to 212,000 people paying. So we had 200+ thousand who weren't paying, but they were using our schools, our hospitals, and our roads. And so we're really equalizing this. So I'm just really pleased with what we've been able to achieve. A lot of work to go for the new people who are going to be running for governor, and I'm going to be asking a lot of good questions, and I'm going to support the kind of people that I think that will promote what we've been able to achieve and never get in the hole that we were in 6 or 7 years ago.
Well, that's a whole other discussion for another day on who you're supporting for governor. But we're going to end with one of our proud sons, Andre Agassi, last night, for those that missed it.
Oh, everybody was excited. I was so excited. I've known him since he was a little tiker, and I'll tell you, what a tennis match, you know. And I'm an old football, basketball player, and I was excited in tennis after watching Andre Agassi.
So we are very
night.
proud. 3-6, 3-6, 6-3, 6-3, 6-6 in the final set, and then the tiebreaker 7-5. If you missed it, check it out on USA.
Oh, there's
Network.
news, weather, and sports, baby.
Thank you, Governor, for joining us today and keeping us up to date on what's happening with our efforts and evacuees. And thanks for joining us today in a special edition of Nevada Newsmakers. Thanks, Scott.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Play over 480 of the hottest slots and video poker games. Enjoy hot times and sizzling food specials at Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. Watch your favorite game on one of our jumbo high-definition plasma TVs. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. Or sample the best hot and cold sandwiches in the Whistle Stop Deli. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Abadi Ranch Parkway. Yeah.
Island Inkjet is now open on South Meadows Parkway. Island Inkjet will refill your inkjet cartridges in just 1 hour. We have the ink to precisely match over 240 cartridges, saving you up to 60% on the cost of buying a new cartridge. Our work is 100% guaranteed, and contrary to what you may have heard, refills do not void any printer warranties. You don't throw out your car when it runs out of gas. Don't throw out your cartridges. Refill them at Island Inkjet on South Meadows Parkway by Smith's.
And the governor gets the last word.
Sam will be back on Monday. Join him.